Hi guys, this is Tam Chris, and this session I'm going to be doing a little bit of analysis of what Satya Anveshi has been saying in one of his comment sections. So, unfortunately, for some reason, he is so upset with me. I don't know. I thought these are like rationalists who are like out there asking us to like debunk them, debate them, discuss them, claiming that if you show any evidence, we will just change our perspectives and so on. But when the wheel hits the road, we seem to be having a different sort of a situation. So one of the accusations that I have been making against Satya Anveshi for quite some time is that I am a supporter of this person, right? Right from the day one, I have been actually like following some of his videos, some of his work, and I appreciate what he's doing, right? We need rationalists, we need skeptics, we need people who are going to question. We need people who are going to like open up the topic so that we learn from each other. Unfortunately, for Satya Anveshi, most of the things that he does is within an echo chamber. He will have his own fans, people who agree with him, who talk with him. Either that, or there will be some theist who is like who has no better thing to do. He will come up on his channel and they'll be having fun. He could spend time trying to actually go to scholarly theists and talk to them and all that, but that's not usually what they plan to do. The same with the science is dope also. Recently, I just called him up for a debate, and the first reply, I said nothing. I just said, "Can we discuss this particular topic?" And the reply that he gives is that, "Do you want to get some kind of attraction to your channel? Do you want some kind of a traffic to your channel? So that's the reason you're calling me up for a debate." I feel this is all disingenuous in a great sense, especially for the so-called rationalists and open free thinkers of this nation. I have consistently seen this for past few years on the internet. The atheists from the Indian subcontinent are always like this. I don't know why it is so bad. They are always biased. They always think that the theists are idiots, morons, and so on and so forth. So one of the accusations that I have against Satya Anveshi is that he barely engages in any actual material when he speaks to theists. When he's talking to the atheist, I don't know what he's saying, because I don't understand his language, so that is a different thing. But when he's talking to the theist, I notice that he will always have two things in hand. Either he will be fallacious, his arguments are fallacious, or he will try to abuse the religion, abuse that person, abuse all the religious people in general, and so on. I don't know why this kind of hatred for religious people is there. I don't know, maybe this was not something taught to them or something. The Christian theology has always been teaching me that you should hate the sin but not the sinner. We are asked to reject theologies, doctrines that are wrong, but not necessarily hate the person who is holding on to those theologies and doctrines. So there are two things that Satya Anveshi uses always: either it is abuse or fallacies. So we're going to see just a part of the comments that he has been putting on in this particular video. This video was about abortion, and I did not understand what they were speaking because it is in Telugu. I just saw the description here. If it wasn't for religion, abortion would not have been an issue at all. He feels that if not for religion, abortion would not be an issue at all. So I just commented saying, I did not say anything provocative or something. I was not abusing anything or not. I was not even presenting my viewpoints about abortion and all that. In fact, my views of abortion are very, very primitive. My understanding of abortion is very little because of the technical medical issues that are associated with it. I don't deal with it much, and usually it is a Catholic doctrine, and I have not been very much concerned with it. And Indian subcontinent, abortion is not a big issue anyway, because there is a lot of illegal abortions going on in this nation. So it is better that we keep it legal so that the people who are going to get aborted will at least have it in a healthy manner. So the right or wrong is a different issue in the Indian subcontinent, in the developing countries like India and African countries. So I just replied to this comment saying that only religion is the cause of problem in abortion. I said the secular pro-lifers be like, am I a joke to you? That's all. I said nothing. And he started railing against secular pro-lifers, calling them as ridiculous hypocrites, as religious nut jobs. One of the very common arguments that Satya Anveshi uses. Abuses themselves are not add-on arguments. Let me very, very clearly say that. You can read that in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. You will realize that add-on argument doesn't simply mean that it is abusive. You can be abusive if you prefer to, which I don't usually prefer to. You can be abusive, but if you reject the argument because of that abusive comment that you are putting out, say for example, religious people are nut jobs, they are morons, so I don't accept what they are saying. That is what is called as Adam argument. So off the bat, if you say anything from Christian scholars, if you say anything from religious people, if you say anything from religious scholars, Satya usually just will reject it ad hoc. He will not even go into the details and see what it is saying. He will just reject it altogether, and he considers only secular atheist sources as valid ones. Sources like Richard Dawkins, Neil deGrasse, all these people who are not scholars in the field of philosophy or religion, he will take them as scholars. He will take their opinion as expertise. But when I quote people who are experts in the field, he is very upset because I'm quoting from Christian scholars. I have never done that as of now till now, but I'm just saying. So this is what is the classical Adam argument. You reject someone because of who they are rather than what they are saying. You should analyze what they are saying before you reject them as a person. It doesn't matter if they are a liar, moron, idiot, or religious nut job or whatever it is. You need to analyze the argument presented as such and then give your opinion about the argument, not about the person. So this is one of the quotes you will see. Great minds will discuss ideas. Some other minds will be discussing people. This is kind of attitude that I see in Satya Anveshi. He always likes to constantly point out religious people are not just morons and all that. So next comment he says, you have a disease called fallacy of fallacies. As such, there is nothing called fallacy of fallacies. There is something called appeal to fallacy. I don't know what he is saying here. He is so upset that I am pointing out fallacies. Isn't that what rationalism is all about? You should point out the fallacies, correct them, and go on. Look here, I don't have a list of fallacies here that I am trying to compare and trying to accuse Satya Anveshi. It just comes naturally, man. That is how the comments are. Each and every comment that Satya Anveshi puts out, there is some fallacy there, and it just pops up in my mind. I have nothing like a list or something, and I'm not even looking for the fallacies. So if you look at the early rationalists who were in the 17th and 18th century, they were actually proponents of pointing out fallacies. Nowadays I understand that there are formal, informal fallacies, and we don't need to point out every fallacy. But I was just doing it as an exercise, and he was getting so upset that as I was pointing out fallacies. When a fallacy is pointed out, there is only two options for you to do. One is correct your statements and make sure that it bypasses the fallacy that I am saying. Second, show that it is not a fallacy. That is all. That is the only two options that you have when somebody accuses you of fallacies. But he doesn't do any of that. He starts abusing me again. You think anything anyone does that remotely is against your dogma, you think they are making fallacies. I never said that. I literally have a video up in my channel which says fallacies committed by Christians commonly. I just have one of the videos where I literally say that many of these fallacies are committed by religious people, especially even Christians. Of course, he gets sarcastic about his comments. Instead of concentrating on that printout of list of fallacies on your desk, get a damn life, my boy. Apparently, your life mission is to prove me wrong, and that is your problem, my boy. I am wrong in many things, and I welcome to be corrected with evidence, but you don't have any. Unfortunately, you are not open to evidence, Mr. Manohar. I have been showing fallacies, I have been showing evidences, I have been showing sources which are far better than the sources that you have been showing. You have been showing literally articles on the website from a Google search. I have been showing quotations from secular scholars, sociologists, psychologists in the discussion we had recently about the rise or fall of Christianity in the Western Hemisphere, and you are not able to actually accept your mistakes. It is a human nature. It is a human nature for not accepting mistakes. We are not capable of actually accepting mistakes. We claim that all the time, atheists or theists or whoever it is. We claim that we are so open-minded, we will accept religion or we will accept any ideology if evidence is presented. But we are not. We are biased, and we really have to work around those biases. Pointing out these fallacies is one of the ways of countering that bias. But you are not willing to take up any basis of the fallacies, unfortunately. And of course, he really goes below the belt, and he says that no one thinks you are smart, so you are a fool. Other than self-disgust about losing to me every single time, I don't see any reason for your self-flagellation. I diagnosed you last time with an obsessive disorder. You have a craving need to disagree with me every time, no matter how normal and human the conversation is. You feel the need to negate it because I said it. Not necessarily. I actually agree with many of the things that you are saying. I just don't necessarily document those things where I do agree. And unfortunately, you are so upset whenever I present anything that is opposing your views or your points and your opinions. And I don't know, sir. I thought this was the business, right? You are in a position where you will be accused and you will be countered, and I don't know if you feel hurt for that. Maybe you should step down and close the channel. Maybe yes, that's the only option I think. The obsession which makes you very sick, my dear, you are already on the path of becoming a sociopath. This is not an ad hominem. I'm genuinely concerned about you. It's been a year and every interaction is initiated by you, and you keep blabbering fallacies as if that's the only true thing you learned in your pathetic life. So he is literally calling me a sociopath and that I am living a pathetic life. I don't know. When this comment became a personal issue, I seriously do not know. And here again, finally Satya Anveshi goes on to say that I am trying to say that the existence of secular pro-lifers is a validation for my pro-life stance. Till this comment, till this end, I have not said anything about pro-life. I said nothing about my religion. I said nothing about my position. But he is upset that I am quoting secular pro-scholars, secular pro-lifers as a validation. I never said that. I never said they are a validation for my position on abortion. You think pro-life is correct because few seculars also support it? I never said it. I just said there are people who take the abortion issue seriously even though they are secular. They are not religious or irreligious. They still think that abortion is right or wrong and they have a right to talk about these issues. The idea that you cannot talk about abortion because if you are not a woman is again another fallacy. It's called the identity fallacy. Oh gosh. It's not that I want to really point out these fallacies here, but he is committing them and I'm just pointing out what other option do I have. You want me to just keep quiet and accept all the fallacies? Because if you are using a fallacious argument, the conclusions of that argument is going to be also fallacious. Why is it so difficult to understand? I don't see. You are so deep in your own BS that you only see fallacies in others, never in your own. If you point out my fallacies, that would be great, but you are not doing that. You are just abusing me. I don't see where that's going to go. So similarly, he went into a discussion with somebody else and he said, I am a nosy snob. I just want to put my nose into this topic also. I will just read out to you what he is saying. It is about the choice of the mother to terminate something she cannot handle later. There are active conversations about this in USA and human rights are paramount here. The woman has priority in this case. If she can handle, she will have baby. If she cannot handle for various reasons, abortion should be her right. Let me read this again so that let's get the point here. If the woman can handle, she can have the baby. If she cannot handle for various reasons. So there are justified reasons for which abortion should be her right. She has a right to abort that child. I am more concerned about the life that I have guaranteed the mother than the fetus that may or may not live and even potentially kill the woman on the way out. All that is okay, that's fine. Number one reason for abortion in USA is not actually medical reasons or for threatening the life of the mother. It's because they feel it is an unwanted pregnancy. That's a point to be remembered here. Who other than the mother can guarantee the baby's well-being for 15 years? If she is responsible for making that commitment, then she should have the right to choose to keep it or abort it. Abortion is human right. That's it. This is a point that he has been making. And I simply asked, can I use the same argument and say, a woman wants to abort a female fetus, intrauterine fetus, because she feels in the future this child is going to bring a lot of financial strains on the family because of the patriarchal society that we are living in. It's not our own fault, but it is a society that is going to make all this kind of implications of having a female child, excess dowry, abuse, so on and so forth. So she wants to abort the child because she cannot manage a child in the future for the financial constraints that she is going to bring up in her family. So I am asking, is it the right of the woman to abort the child intrauterine if she finds out that it is a female child? And if the previous statement that he has been saying is true, then it is yes. The answer is yes. A woman is justified according to Satya Anveshi's argumentation. I'm not saying that he is saying it, but this argument implies this. Okay, I'm not accusing him of something that he did not say directly. I'm just implying that if what he is saying is right, then a woman who wants to kill a female fetus intrauterine by abortion for reasons of future problems like financial problems, dowry, patriarchal society, all that constraints, then she is absolutely justified to abort the child. Absolutely justified, and because it is her own right. Nobody can question that right. This is exactly the reason why the Indian subcontinent and few other countries, very few other countries, completely banned the prenatal sex determination. You cannot do an ultrasound during pregnancy and find out the sex. You are not supposed to. If you do that, the doctor will be put in jail. That is literally the case in India. Because female infanticide is so rampant in India, even today in many parts of the Indian subcontinent, female infanticide is so common. So I'm just saying this is the same argument that people who are practicing female infanticide are going to use as a reason for their criminal activities. They are killing a child after birth, and here the child is being killed before birth. That's it. That's the only difference. In fact, in the first comment, Satya Anveshi says that fetus has human rights after it becomes viable at 7 months of age. I don't know how he derives that, but this is not science anymore. Once you talk about human rights, once you talk about human personhood and all that, this is not science anymore. This is philosophy. This is more of ethics. That should be done properly. I mean, that's all. Okay, that's not the point that I'm trying to make here. I'm saying he is getting so upset with this whole point of being objected to, being questioned. I don't understand what is the point of having a channel saying question everything with Satya Anveshi, where you question everybody else but not yourself. Or you get upset when somebody questions you. I honestly do not know, Mr. Manohar sir. I still look up to you, sir. I really want to support what you are doing, what you are trying to engage here. Because an open platform where people of all religion talk and discuss is something that I have always looked up to, and that does not happen in India. Okay, you cannot have an open discussion between religions or religion and the atheist. You cannot have that in India, unfortunately, and that is possible only on the online front. And I want this platform to be something that is really promoting rationality, openness and discussion towards truth. And if you are not willing to accept that there is a possibility that you could be wrong or I could be wrong, we are not going to accept that there is a possibility that we could be wrong, there is no way to move forward in discussion. There is no point in discussing. If you feel that all religious people are morons, idiots, unscientific, unintelligent, they shouldn't be holding any government jobs, they shouldn't be holding any scientific positions, I don't understand what the use of having a channel where you feel that you're going to discuss with them. You are demeaning them already. You are already demeaning them. They are already putting them down. You are already abusing them. Then what is the point in discussing with them? You know they are wrong. Why are you discussing with them? So here again he goes on to do railing against this particular concept that no uterus, no opinion. I don't know. This is the same argument when the slavery discussion was going on a few centuries ago in USA. The slave owners were saying that the slaves were not human beings. First of all, they said they were not human beings, they are subhuman. For some reason, they said that all the slaves were subhuman. They made that kind of a criteria error. And then they said, it is my right to do whatever I want with this property that I have. I don't know, why do you feel that it's not anything different from the particular debate of women and the fetus? The main issue with the discussion in the pro-life, pro-choice discussion is not about human race, Mr. Manohar. The real issue is the fetus a human person or not? If you say that it becomes a human person at 7 months, that's what you said in your first comment, then does it mean that the third trimester abortion should be illegal? Is that what you're saying? I really wish that we could discuss this further, but I want to point out not the discussion about pro-life and pro-choice, but this rampaging of abusing, rampaging of putting out fallacies after fallacies. You need to clarify all these fallacies, sir. I have pointed out 2 fallacies here. Appeal to numbers, saying that the majority of the people don't oppose abortion, therefore the abortion is right. Is that how you do ethics? And the second is identity fallacy. No uterus, no opinion. If I am not a woman, I cannot comment about anything about woman or woman health and all that. So all the female should be treated only by female obstetricians, I suppose. All the male obstetricians who are doing research in obstetrics and gynecology should be banned and sent out, I suppose. They don't have any right to give any opinion, I suppose. So here is the contention that I have, and that's the end of the video. Thank you.